XIII of the Reaper King, Valley of Tombs. So we awake the next morning after your, I suppose you guys had a colossal drunken bender, right?
I mean, yeah, just a little bit.
And of course, Blackbeard had a lovely encounter with a very beautiful maiden down by
Oh
the
God, yes.
Oh, yeah,
Man, it was so amazing.
Oh, she was delightful, wasn't she? Grant, how about you you catch us up for last session, all right? Give us a recap.
Well, last session, Blogveer and Shihan, after mourning the loss of their friend, they heard a war horn, a hunting horn, blow in the distance, and they took off to go investigate and to help them. And they saw like this lone Arborian, I think he was.
Yeah, he was. You're right.
Yeah, one lone Arborian was like fighting off a whole legion of fish fucking Atlanteans trying to cross the bridge to go onto the Arborian side, and Blogbeer and Shihan just ran in to reinforce them, and a giant slaughter, I should say, ensued as they just cut down the Atlanteans and their reinforcements with their own reinforcements coming in the form of Arborian farmers and peasants coming in there with pitchforks and just putting the smackdown on the Atlanteans. And we drove them back, and we talked with the chieftain and everything, and came back to their camp, and were given titles. Blogbeard the Bloodletter for his ferociousness in the battle and everything, and they were hailed as heroes of sort. And Shihan did some consulting with the chieftain and found out about the how these cultists were, basically pillaging and robbing these tombs of the wardens and all that. So we were given a map to go into the valley and try to root out these cultists and stop them from pillaging and ransacking these warden grave sites. And before we set off, we went to the way shrine of the goddess Carnage, and there we met this amazing old ogre man named Veer, I believe his name was. And he blessed and anointed our weapons in the name of the great goddess. And Blogbeer partook of the delicious the wine, delicious fermented rotten wine of Carnage herself. And he was rewarded with a giant horse water skin of delicious Carnage wine to drink after every slaughter he does in the name of Carnage. So after that was done, they went back and started preparation to head out and to just track down these cultists and make sure that the wardens can sleep in peace in the afterlife and not be disturbed anymore by these sons of bitches. So that's what Blogbeer and Shihan are going to be doing now. So, and Blogbeer did see that amazing, beautiful maiden down by the water as he was bathing. Just gorgeous visions of just like pure ecstasy of this beautiful fair maiden down there, and showed him a vision of his beloved tending to the garden of the Atlantean commander governor. So she's alive, and then Blogbeard just has to find her. And then as soon as she was there, this beautiful maiden just disappeared. Left his heart heavy and his loins were tight, and she just left him there as a tease. And he ran back as fast as he could to tell Shihan about this erotic encounter he had.
Yeah, you really got drunk. As I recall, Blogbeer was coming up screaming with nothing on, claiming that he was attacked by some kind of horrific thing down by the water. And I said, you need to get drunk. And apparently it worked.
One man's erotic, maiden is another man's demon. So, I mean.
That is As they say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and one of those eyes is makes you crazy. So,
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So bringing us back to the present, I will say you guys have awoken a good couple hours before the cockerel crows. It's still real dark out. Um, the village itself around you is still quiet. Maybe somebody in uh, the neighboring hovel stirs and then goes back to sleep, but you're there in the wee hours of the morning. What do you wish to do? You both, like I said, you both wake up wide awake, raring to go.
well, I'm going to get up and get my stuff together, check on Blogbeer, make sure he's awake and not dead from the stuff he drank yesterday, not before the celebration, I mean. And
No, yeah,
yeah, and Blogbeer, you okay? Are you
Uh,
alive?
I'm fine. I've never felt better. I feel like a young ogre again.
Well, you ogres are made of stern stuff, apparently, because, well, either way, we should be off. Um, Make sure we get all of our stuff together, and let's see if we can get out of here before rousing too many of these revelers around us.
Yes, we should make sure we bring torches.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah, Logbeer will. He's ready to go, so he's got all his stuff ready, and he's going to just follow Shihan's lead, and we're going to go off on the greatest adventure.
So, yep, we'll just load up and make our way quietly out of the village. So
What
stepping
do you
over.
take with you?
Um,
I'm asking because you are in a well stocked and well provisioned village.
You're gonna make me work for this one. All right. I will hopefully get us reprovisioned with at least pop our provisions up to at least 20 each.
20 days provisions each.
Well, I was thinking 20 because it takes three provisions for a day. So actually, I was going to say 24. They'll give us what 8 days provisioning basically.
Okay.
I think we should be able to get out there and back within 8 days. And of course, if I hunt along the way, it'll help. I'm going to, of course, we have. I'm going to get Gilfric's healing pack and see if I can get it restocked with the basics, so we can have at least some basic healing stuff if we need it. And since I've been speaking with the priest and learning a bit about that, I'm sort of my novice, view over that. Restock my bronze arrows. Give myself a total of 36 of those. Of course, I have my nine Fey iron ones. And let's see, probably wouldn't hurt for us to have, like, say, a couple of spare blankets, maybe some warm weather clothing, because we're going up into an area where there are mountains. You could get fairly high, and that could become a thing.
Right.
And rope. Yeah, rope. We need rope. Always need rope.
You can never do enough.
Always do rope.
Yeah. So yeah. So
have enough of it.
Mm-hmm. And then just the basic stuff like limited kindling, some maybe a flint and fire starter type thing, be it a bow starter or a flint starter, because you can use a flint and pyrite actually to strike and make fire. So they probably have something like that going on.
So we have 8 days of food, you said?
Yes, 8 days.
Okay.
Yeah. Just shy of a chain.
So I figured we can probably go out and if we hunt and supplement that, we might be able to maybe stay a little longer if we need to. But if it takes longer than that, then we'll just have to live off the land if we have to. So
do it.
So, and yes, of course, torches. Probably what's like 6 each, you think? Bloodbeer?
I mean, that sounds good. Yeah.
Solid dozen? Okay.
You can't have too many torches, just like Luke.
Well, you can carry tons of torches, so.
Yeah.
You want to carry tons of torches for us?
Is carrying all of this?
Oh, Blockbeard, of course.
Yeah, Blockbeard will
Oh, okay.
carry all he can. So
So,
It's right, Pack Mule.
you can get refill your water skins. I mean, I have a horse worth of wine, so that should be good.
good idea. Yeah, some water skins and stuff like that. Yeah, too. Of course, we have to make sure that the water skins are, properly sanitary. So you fill them with wine first.
I will say you are able to get one spare ogre-sized wineskin and one spare wineskin one spare human wineskin for Shihan. So you both will have 2.
That'll work. So that will work. Get that set up. So, do this. All right, spare wineskin. Let's see. But how much rope would we get our hands on? Like a couple of.
About 300 feet.
Okay. We'll be in the mountains. That's a good place to get a mount to have. Well, I can carry some of that, say 50 feet of it. The rest of it's all good.
Do we need like pinions or like climbing stuff to?
They would have pretty primitive climbing stuff. You wouldn't have like anything like an ice axe or anything like that.
Yeah, no nice.
Plus, you're not going high enough up into.
You can never be prepared. For all we know, I mean, you just never know.
Hey,
I mean, I don't plan on Blockbeard climbing a mountain, at all, ever. But just try to be prepared, just in case.
So, yep, that is definitely true. Oh, is it possible I can get my hands on, say, about 24 arrowheads? Just the arrowheads.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I will say here also, Warwick would have given you another 18 Arborian-made bronze arrows.
Okay, so from 36 to 46, 50, 54. That's a good full quiver. So, but I'm probably carrying 2 quivers at that point. So, and of course, all that rolled up in a pack with a blanket and whatnot, and basic cooking stuff.
With all of these provisions, it should bring you to about 1.5 points below your max encumbrance.
Okay.
Your overland movement isn't hampered. You still can move at 3/4 speed. However, you guys aren't going to be doing a force march.
Okay.
All right.
We just have the ability. Actually, oh no, I was going to see if they maybe had like a hand cart.
They would have a hand-pulled sled, but not a cart.
Okay, so I think that might actually be easier for us to travel with the basic sled, because when we come into problems, you just drop the sled and go to fighting stance.
Okay.
So,
true.
So, what do you think?
I mean, it'd probably be easier to pull a sled. So, I mean, Blockbeard can just pull the sled. So,
okay,
sounds good to me.
If you go that route, your encumbrance should probably stay the same.
Okay, we can definitely do that. I'll carry some of the basic stuff on me, not a whole bunch, but enough that it's not too much of a burden for Blockbeard. So if something happen to our sled, we'll have something.
God's help us if that sled just goes down the hill or something and it's gone.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, hey.
That's a bad thing about it.
How about this? Take some of that rope and actually tie a little leader on it.
There we go. Like a little harness, just freaking tie it all around and pull it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we are on for bear.
Oh yeah.
God, I hope so.
So yeah. Oh, speaking of which, a bear spear.
A bear spear for hunting bears.
Oh, just a basic spear. I was at one point carrying spears, but at some point I've lost them because of all the stuff we've done. So, just a spare spear, nothing fancy.
Oh, a spare spear.
Yeah,
I thought
spare spear.
Bear spear. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. One that I can also use as a walking stick as I'm like going up hills and stuff. So
there you go. Well done. Yeah, you can find all that.
All right. So okay.
It won't cost you much in the way of they don't have much in the way of coin at this time, but you're able to barter for all of that.
Oh yeah, I mean, we did sort of like save their euro.
Yeah. Don't want to brag or nothing, but we can't save their lives. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and of course, my horn. Actually, is it possible that we can get a horn for Vlogveer, just in case we get separated, so he has something he can actually blow and get carry a sound for a distance?
Marco Polo.
Yeah, basically.
Actually, yes, you can.
There you
So
go.
roll for that. Well
Nice.
done. Yeah, you guys are. My dice are being a little nice to you guys
Of course they are.
this session,
Your dice let us.
right? That's good.
So
Doesn't
with
matter
all,
what you think.
with all this
Let's
stuff,
Let's hope they're not fickle dice and fuck us later on.
yes,
Well,
here, have fun stuff that's not important, but later we're going to figure. That's fine. Dice are like that. So once we get all our stuff loaded on this sled and trying to sneak out of camp, out of this village by going very, very slow with this behind us.
right.
1 ton of blog beer sneaking to boom.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. We had an ogre assassin a couple
Yes.
campaigns
Yep.
ago, and he was
Yep.
quiet.
They can be quiet. Yes. All right. So
Blog beer has not been trained in such subtleties, so he's he's a rampaging elephant just running through.
we'll
There you
teach you.
go.
Don't worry. So yeah, we'll head toward the mountains.
I will say here, once you actually do set out, I will. Oh, by the way, did you know that the Arboreans had air capability? So you're parachuting into this valley. No, I'm kidding.
Oh shit! Hell yeah!
Can I turn a polar bear out around our back? Or wolves?
No. You I will say you had just enough provisions to get to a point where you're a 3 days march north of Ghost Owl's tomb. So you will start with actually on this day with all of the stuff that you just listed on that sled.
Okay.
So
I
there.
will request doing a traveling check to pack it well.
Please do so.
Okay.
Because I'm feeling like a dick this session and
Uh-huh.
making some terrible things.
That's going to be a 17.
Oh, come on.
No, that's what I rolled. A 7, a 3, and I get a +7.
No, I get you. I'm kidding. Anyway, now everything makes it, and the weather allows for you not to lose anything. Well done. Now, you have the map that Friggith gave you. You are again a 3-day march north of Ghost Owl's tomb. You're very well acquainted with that area.
Oh yeah.
From the ridge that you're actually standing upon, you see the lake that was just outside his tomb, and you see to the north and west of you there's a kind of a column of smoke, like a maybe actually, you know what? Have Shihan make a wild lore test.
Okay. That one is going to be a 16.
You think that is at least 2 fires,
Okay.
like 2 campfires worth of smoke. Not like a burning village, but
Right. Yeah.
somebody is down there.
Yeah. Well, basically a larger camp. So if you estimate 5 people per campfire, that'd be at least 10 individuals, possibly 12 if they're small.
Right.
So I will convey this to Bloodbeard. Possibly 12, 10 to 12 individuals down there, 2 fires. About how far does it seem to be from us?
Make an additional traveling test, please.
All right. Oh, I one of them.
With that map, you can give yourself a +3 bonus.
Okay. All right.
Friggith's map gives you a bonus to traveling tests while you are in this valley.
28.
28. That is 3 days march north of you, or excuse me, north and to the west.
Does it seem to be near one of the tombs?
It is near to like the foothills of the opposite end of actually the opposite valley wall, if you will. If you're standing on the east side, you're looking across the valley to the west.
Okay. So it's not necessarily like right next to a tomb, but possibly where, say, from a camp, they can access a few tombs during any given day, or
Oh yeah, they
okay.
could make it to we'll say at least four in
Okay.
within a day's walk, there and back.
All right. Okay. Yeah. With love here, say make sure you're well. I normally would say make sure your spear is sharp, but make sure your club's blunt.
It's always ready.
Okay.
With Blogveer now, I need him to make an awareness test quick.
All right. Let me find it because I can, I'm good at organizing things.
Do it.
Okay. All right. Okay. That is a 16.
Okay, you see a similar column of smoke, much larger than the one to the northwest of you, which is to the south, almost directly south, farther beyond the lake, Ghost Owl's Lake, as it were. And once, if you point that up to Shihan,
I do.
Okay, and with that knowledge, you can guess that that's actually a small village.
How do we miss this before? Interesting. Well, there's a village, it looks like, down there, Shihan.
How did we miss that before?
I don't know. I wondered the same thing.
Maybe you just weren't cooking that day. So, well, it might be worth our while to go there. Maybe get some information from locals. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, it seems as good a route as any. Those other two campfires could be cultists, we don't know. So
Most
it would be
likely,
good to have information.
yeah, I'll hold the map out to you and say most likely that is because they can access all these tombs from that campsite pretty easily. But I suggest we approach this village cautiously because they could be in league with the cult.
Well, the cultists have already ransacked it, one or the other, but yes, we should be cautious. I agree.
Very true. So we will approach said village with caution.
All right. It will take 3 days to actually get down there then.
Okay.
So go ahead and mark that off on your provisions for the day. You should have one provision per day, and that actually counts for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, unless you actually go down to half rations, which then it's just 2 meals a day. Now, as you actually get there, you do have signs within about a quarter mile, goblin tracks, and quite a few of them actually.
Huh. Okay. Hey, Blogbeer, why don't you stay here for just a little bit? I'm going to sneak up and see if I can get a look at this village. It might be a goblin village. What do you think?
Well, there are a lot of goblin tracks, but I'll wait here. You be careful.
Yeah,
Don't do anything I wouldn't do. I'll just smile a little bit.
I'll just sneak up there, kill them all, and come after their heads. Wink at him.
Yes, that sounds fine by me.
Okay. And I'm going to drop off everything that other than my basic stuff. I'll have my bow and my sword, and I am going to approach stealthily.
Send it.
All right. 21 plus 25. No, sorry, 27.
Oh,
Wrong
nice.
number. Yeah, so.
All right, you actually do successfully make it past 2 groups of sentries, 2, I suppose, outposts. One of which was kind of a lean-to hut up against a big oak tree. The first one, and the second one was more or less a kind of a cobbled together watchtower,
Okay.
which was essentially a big oak tree that had two stilts and a platform kind of nestled up there in the branches. You're able to sneak past these two and then get into where somewhere the village is, and you actually see goblins, men, women, and some goblin children out and about, not unlike the mortal villages that you've spent time in, but these goblins are living a far more rustic existence than the mortals are. However, you do hear the sound of an anvil being pounded and the sound of a forge being kind of like that sucking whoosh sound of the fire in the billows.
Okay. So, how much would I know about goblins in general? Like in villages like this, are they generally like regular traders, or they tend to be suspicious of outsiders, or are they more civilized than the usual bands of roaming goblins?
Goblins do lead a rather heavy raiding culture, and most races do see them as evil, degenerate, awful things. But goblins, if you want to put like a D&D alignment on them, they are mostly neutral.
Okay.
They keep to themselves. They are suspicious. They have their own culture, their own magics, if you will. But
Okay.
when it comes to Fae, they're mistrusting.
Okay.
To the
So,
goblins, Fae are treacherous.
okay. So, not a good place for me to go visit. Okay.
Not, right where you're standing is not a good place for you to just appear. If
Okay.
you were to try and possibly approach the guards about a few hundred yards back, you may or may not have some more clout, if you will.
In that case, I'm just going to sort of stealthily make my way back to Blog here.
Okay.
So,
Send it.
that is going to be a 22 on that to get back to him.
Okay. Yeah, those the goblins in the watchtower have been drinking most of the morning, so they've not been paying attention to you skulking about.
Okay. Okay. Well, once I get back to Blogveer, goblins. Probably the village, those goblins we slaughtered at the Tombs village.
They don't know it was us that killed them.
As far as we know, did any of them get away? I don't think any of them got away, did they?
No, so as far as they know, we're just travelers.
Yeah, no,
Well,
they don't know, and none of them did get away. So, as far as they're concerned, cultists got them.
Yeah, I'll look up a blogger and say, just so you know, they tend to be sort of distrustful of the Fae. So
They're filthy raiding goblins, so I don't expect this is going to go well if we go up there. And I don't even speak their language, so arrows will fly and blood will probably be spilled. I'm no fortune
true, yeah,
teller.
maybe we should just avoid the place. What do you think?
It seems. I mean, I'm all for carnage, but this seems counterproductive to our mission.
True. I mean, it could be they could know something about what's going on in the area, but
I don't know how we would get the information out of them. I don't speak their wretched language. Do you?
I just speak British folk and the Mercian, and of course my own language of Faywise, which I'm pretty sure they won't speak. Although they might speak the Mercian. I mean, what we might, if you want to try to do this, I mean, it'll be a gamble, but approach their perimeter and see if we can, talk to one of their guards. And if they decide they don't want to be nice, we can be nice, be unnice, and run away.
Well, I'll defer to your judgment, Red Blade.
Although I really want to have more information about what's going on around here. I don't think I want to walk into the middle of a village that's untrustful of my kind. So they may just immediately look at me, think it's bad news, and decide to, uh, you know, I don't know, sacrifice me to their gods or whatever. I'm not sure what gods they even worship. So, although actually, do you have any more of that stuff you were drinking yesterday? That holy elixir stuff you call it?
Just kind of hide my giant horse wine skin. Like, maybe.
Okay. Shihan throws it in his mouth a little bit. Um, that I don't know if they might actually look at that and think that's possibly a good thing. You never know. I mean, do goblins worship carnage?
Never asked him.
Huh. Well, would you be interested in approaching them yourself and me staying hidden? I'll back you up.
Well, we did come 3 days. I mean, we could at least try. Okay.
I'll stay hidden and keep an arrow drawn just in case they try to do something crazy with you, and I'll be there in a split. You know, if they try to cause you trouble.
I guess I'll just detach the rope harness I have and leave the sled behind, and I'll just approach with my wine skin. And
I'll try to camouflage it. A little wilderness lore in there. 17. That's going to be a 26 on camouflaging our sled, so no one comes by and just says, "Oh, look, free stuff."
Yeah, that does a pretty damn good job. It now looks like just a brush pile.
Okay. And I'm going to, of course, as I said, back him up and go quietly, into the woods and stay hidden. So that is going to be for my stealth. That's going to be a 15.
Okay. The floor is Blogbeer's.
Well, Blogbeer, I mean, he has his club still sheathed and everything. He just has his giant wine skin across, just across his shoulders there, and he'll start approaching these outposts, these little lean-tos, and he'll have his hands up and try to be as non-threatening as possible as he approaches these goblins, and hopefully he won't get shot at on sight.
And an ogre who worships carnage trying to be non-threatening. Oh,
It is, yeah. It's
laugh right there.
It's very alien to him, but he's gonna try. He's gonna try. He's gonna give it the old college try. He's gonna do his best. So he'll approach and
they see you about 50 yards out, and they just kind of looking on. What the hell's this guy? What the? Oh, it's an ogre. And they start talking to each other a little bit frantically in their own tongue. As one of the three, you assume the youngest, runs back runs back somewhere down the path, and he disappears as the two bigger goblins. And to describe goblins in Arklanar, or at least for you guys as well as the viewers, think of a being about the size of bearded folk, okay? And now think of that as kind of like a big, kind of like a bloated, bipedal looking toad thing with tusks that protrude from the lower jaw and the upper jaw. So they kind of like they kind of lock together, and they have this big kind of like this throat sack up front, not unlike a frog. Their skin is usually like a brown or a dark gray. Sometimes they got spots. These guys don't have spots, however, and the males almost always have a beard that goes from kind of like just under the lower lip and it hangs down. And these guys look absolutely hideous to countenance, and one of which is wielding a copper, kind of like looks like a copper battle axe, and or what passes as a battle axe for a goblin, and another one is wielding a copper, and again what passes as a broadsword for a goblin. They both have strikingly enough rather ornate looking teardrop shaped shields where the point actually points down to the ground, and they just kind of stand there on guard, waiting to see what awfulness this enormous, scary ogre brings upon them. As stories go, ogres eat goblins. Ogres eat everybody. So,
I will attempt to talk to them. I'll call out. I guess I'll just cycle through. I'll call out an ogrish first, and come in peace. Just seek information. Don't shoot. Don't attack me. And then I'll wait to see if they say anything. I'll just cycle through Feywise, Nemercian, and Atlantean. I don't think they will know any of these languages, but I'm gonna try.
Let's see here. I can contest for one of them. Oh shit! Hey. Oh, all right. Never mind. Let's see the other one. Oh, damn. This one is particularly sharp. Okay. So the one with the battle axe actually shouts back to you in kind of a broken Nemercian tongue. I was like, "What do you want, you enormous, ugly, short troll?"
I just seek information about the lands.
They look at each other with a what the hell is this guy on about? Look at each other. Information? What sort of information?
I hear there are cultists in these lands, and I was wondering if you knew anything about them.
You're not with these cultists. He points his battle axe at you, kind of like with the spike on the end of his on the half there.
Depends on if you like them or not. If you like them, I'm with them. If you don't, I'm not.
They just look at each other nervously, and we don't like them as they kind of lean forward, all suspicious like.
Good, because I hate them myself. I'm actually looking for them so I can kill them. That's why I need information. I heard they're in the valley, and I was wondering if you brave goblin scouts would have seen anything. I come in peace. It kills Blogger to say that.
About 15 other goblins dressed for war come down the path, just foot padding down the way, and so now this kind of like primitive dirt road is kind of erupting with goblins, and they're kind of like shouting threats and awful things that clearly you don't say to people in Goblin, and the goblin that you have been speaking to is kind of like hushes them, like motions with his shield arm to hush them up. He translates what is going on, and again, just kind of like this "what the hell" look going through the group. What is Shihan doing this whole time?
I'm hiding in back in the tree line, probably about maybe 20, 30 yards behind Blogbeer, keeping my eye on them.
Make an awareness test, quick leg.
Okay.
I want to see if you're within earshot to hear these guys.
All right. It's going to be 16.
Well, yeah, you do. They do speak Nemercian. You have heard all of this conversation.
Okay. All right. I'm just
Does he
my
do it this time?
I have my horn ready for a reason.
Oh, okay, all right. So, Blogbear, do you have anything else to add?
I have a peace offering in exchange for information. I just motion towards the wine skin.
Begrudgingly don't want to part with.
I really don't. It's really killing me. Holy sacrament for the goddess Carnage, blessed by one of her priests. It will get you shit faced
Mm,
if we can make a deal.
they do not worship the goddess Carnage here.
It is still potent spirits.
Hmm. This goblin sends somebody, a runner, back to the village. So you're there standing, just kind of like awkwardly and suspiciously staring at each other until
I just put my arms down. I get too tired. I just put my arms down. I just sit there and just kind of like wait.
This about 20 minutes later, and they're making you wait. This elderly looking goblin with this enormous white beard comes out. He's got a very aged cane, knotted wooden cane, kind of like it's similar to the dark wood that you'd see in kind of like Fey Forest, if you will. And Shihan, you'd actually see this. And he this old goblin comes out, and he's this guy. He doesn't even look good for forever. Goblins don't look handsome by any means, but this guy, you did not know that there had been as much time in the world as this guy is old. That's how filthy this dude looks. And he comes out and he just kind of like walks to like 20 feet away from you, and he's you require information about these cultists. Is that correct?
Yes, aged one. I wish to kill them all, but I don't know where they are. And I was hoping that your brave goblin scouts could share some information with me.
They are suspicious of your kind, and he's stroking his beard with this horribly arthritic knuckled hand, and his beard is like patchy and gross. Oh Jesus! And he smells like the toilet in an old person's home. I'm just oh God. He introduces himself as the chieftain. His name is Lar, Lar, and there's a cultist named Endukaga that layers in the southernmost curve of the valley, and he and his ilk have been raiding these tombs and setting demons upon my village. He has also been capturing quite a few of my family and my friends here and making them despoil these tombs in the hills. And he actually points back up to where you had come from, and in kind of somewhat the general direction of that one camp that you saw just a few days ago.
Of course. Well, when I kill them all, I will be sure to try to free your family members and send them on their way.
Yeah, this old thing just he puts both of his hands on his cane and kind of just leans forward, all suspicious, like he has kind of a very heavy grandpa like demeanor. He's just kind of looking at you, trying to almost searchingly trying to figure out what kind of person you are. He says, there is a darkness in you, ogre.
Isn't there a darkness in everyone?
He just nods. It's just like kind of like he's accepting that answer, but he doesn't say anything. How long will you be in this valley?
However long it takes for me to hunt down every last cultist and send them to the afterlife.
Oh, they are many. You will be here for some time. There are hundreds of them in this valley.
Fair odds, I imagine. I'll paint these valleys red with their blood.
They have a goal. They wish to summon a demon to kill all of the mortals across the river, and he points back to the east, where you guys initially came from. They wish to use the magics in these tombs to do so.
And how do you know about this, old wise one?
Oh, because he's come to me and threatened me and my family quite a few times now. We can barely hold back their raids when they come and forcefully take them to work on their horrible digs.
I see. Well, we share a common enemy. Anything you can give me to aid in battle will be appreciated.
I've not much to give as my village is quite poor. But I will say, if you go back north across this river, you might be able to find my family as well as some of these cultists that you've been hunting.
Well, I thank you for your time. I will hunt down these cultists in this Indukaga and send them on their way to the afterlife.
Oh, good. And send them as slaves to the afterlife. They have nothing better to do.
Of course, of course. And thank you for not shooting me on sight.
He just kind of smirks this unsettling goblin smirk. He goes, I'll be off with you then.
I just slowly back away, and I just back away, a few feet before I can turn my back to. I don't want to turn my back to him.
No, of course.
I'll walk backward as long as I can before I actually had to turn around. So
as he turns around, I'm going to step out, look at him, nod, and then walk off with him.
You're nodding at whom?
The goblins. Basically showing myself that I'm here and, sort of in a way letting them know that at any time I could have put an arrow in any of them, but didn't. So almost like saying, see, you can trust me.
Well, and as far as that trust can go, we should see.
Right. But it's also hopefully going to give him a little bit of an air of, ooh, he's got one of them working with him. So.
Right. All right. So, well, let's see here. Yeah. So no, I'll say the chieftain and maybe just a couple more of them. Saw you. They just kind of give you this look before they go back into their village. Where's your guys' group headed now?
I'm assuming you heard that conversation, Shion.
I did. So sounds like Indukaga is still in the valley.
The southern tip, the southern point of the valley.
That sounds about like where we had we saw the campfires. So I say we go and see what this fellow's doing, because I've heard his name quite too often now.
Yes, I grow tired of his name. Let us wipe it from existence.
I think so. I think that needs to be done now. Yes.
So I guess we're going to Indukaga there.
Are you going north or are you going south?
They said he was south, right?
Yeah, his lair is in the south.
Okay.
Although, though, that guy's goblin people are to the north, right? The ones that
Yeah.
are captured.
Yeah.
Although there are captured goblins to the north and more cultists to kill, they could be in our debt if we freed them.
They could be, but I don't think they'll be too eager to be in my debt.
I will follow your lead on this, Shihan. It matters not to me. I will kill either way.
Well, if we do go to the north, and we do free these goblins, it's very possible they may have information that we could use. Don't you
It
think?
is true. The cultists may even have missives or maps or something of the sort.
That's true. There could be maps about what they're possibly doing, or at least maybe we'll get information about what they're looking for.
Maybe orders from Indukag himself will be there.
So yes, let's go to the north and free these slaves first, I suppose. If nothing else, we can free them from their misery.
Very well.
So
To the north we go then.
to the north we go.
All right. You will travel along the valley highway there for much of this day, and you guys pitch camp. Where do you wish to pitch camp?
We'll do one of the things where we have we can find ourselves a little spot on, like, say, a bridge, so you get a good view.
Okay.
And then I'll do one of the Fairfolk fires.
Okay. Stealth fire. Yep.
Yeah, and that is going to be a 18 for that. You said the target was 16 for that. So we can at least cook our dinner and such, and sort of get a look at this valley, and see if anybody happens to be walking around with torches and whatnot.
So, shortly after sunset, you actually do see the light of that previous camp, as well as the many lights of that goblin village. And as you now know, they're probably on edge now.
Anything off to the south, like far in the distance? Do we see the twinkle of firelight maybe from the camp that way, or?
No, the goblin village is in the south, but farther spread.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, Blogbeer, I guess we can, as long as we stay hidden up here. Actually, I'm going to try to find a way to maybe to camouflage our little area, so it looks like from below it's just, say, a bramble up there or whatever. So wilderness lore here.
I'll assume now that you got the sledge up there. It may or may not have been a headache, but you got it up there.
We'll have to pull it up there too. That is going to be on a wilderness lore a 23.
Perfect. Yeah, you're from below. Your blind there actually looks quite natural.
Yeah, like a little hunting blind. Okay, now at least I'll give us a chance to get some sleep tonight. So hopefully nothing will come by and disturb us.
Yeah, we'll have to make sure we prop the sled up on like a tree stump or put some rocks behind it or something so it don't just roll away, slide down the hill or something.
Oh yeah, of course. Tie it up.
You guys have the ability to get it on a flat space there, and it works perfectly fine. But you both bed down for the evening, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm Blogbeard. I'm not gonna worry about standing guard. He trusts that this camouflage is good enough, so he's just gonna try to get as much restful sleep as he can. So.
All right, so the first 4 hours of the evening or of the night pass uneventfully. Oh man. Nope. Still, second third of the evening. and the 4 hours before dawn. Ooh, okay. Let me get you something here quick. Who has the lower cunning of the two of you?
My cunning's 12.
It's me then. I guess 7.
Okay. So now Blogvir is awoken several hours before dawn by the heavy beats of great wings overhead.
Oh man. I don't know. He'll get the sleep from his eye, and he'll look up and hopefully he's just dreaming and this is nothing. But he'll gaze up there to see what horror awaits him.
About 200 yards above you and to your left, you see a griffin touch down in her nest.
I try to wake Shihan up as stealthily as possible, which is not very, very stealthily.
Even in the gloom, as the fire has still been going, well done, Shihane. This griffin has the colors of a golden eagle. Brown, beautiful brown colors.
Okay. When I wake up, what's going on?
There's a griffin over there. Do you see her?
I'll sit up slowly and rub my eyes and look up.
And just as you see, she beats her wings 3 times and then sets down in that big ass nest that far distance above you.
Do a wilderness lore check. See what I know about these things. Not a lot. That is going to be a 12.
Well, it's enough. You know that all griffins are female.
Okay.
The male counterpart to the griffin is the Keithong, which do not have wings.
Okay.
You do know that the male counterpart, the Keithong, is like a griffin, no wings, but they have spikes on their back.
Okay.
Kind of like a really, really big Enfield, if you will.
Okay.
The Keithong are mean as shit. Griffins are, well, depends if are you invading her territory? Are you harassing her nest? She varying degrees of mean.
Would we be considered too close to her at this moment?
You're about 200 yards beneath her, so she doesn't give a shit about you if she's seen you.
Okay, so I'll just look over at Blogbeer and say, as long as we don't cause a disturbance, I think we'll be fine. In fact, it's probably a good thing she's up there because she can guard us.
I just hope my snoring doesn't come off as aggressive, or I don't wish to be mated with, if that's a thing.
They don't mate with ogres, don't worry.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
So, in fact, I think based on what I know about the Keithongs, they probably have somewhat of an aggressive mating strategy.
I would not like to see that ever.
I don't think I would either. But so Sheehan will very slowly. He's going to move, put his back against a tree instead of actually laying completely down. And he looks over at the Blavers is sleeping against a tree might actually help you with the snoring too. So
Blogger will try to find a tree big enough so he can lean up against, and he's going to try to
rock the cliff face there. You can lean up against it.
and he's going to try to make himself look as unappealing as possible in case she wants to go scavenge for food. I don't look like a big, juicy, stag or something just sitting here. I try to look like a rock. I try to look like inedible. And then I will try to go to sleep as I just keep looking up there, like one eye open, and then try to fall back to sleep.
You glance up there, and looks like she kind of nestles in her nest for the evening. You can probably piece together that a particular griffin had been out hunting all night, and now, as dawn is threatening, she's taking a nap.
Okay. So, yep. So we'll try to get a few more hours of shut-eye before we have to get moving again.
And 2.5 hours later, the sun blisteringly comes into the valley and strikes your eyes in a very unkind fashion.
Oh, stop that. I'll wake up. Stretch. This is our time of day. So get up, stretch in the sunlight, and then pause and remember, oh yeah, and look up. Make sure the griffin's not being disturbed by me getting up stretching.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Nah, it's wait, gotta rush for it. Nope, she's still sleeping.
All right, so in that case, I'll make sure Bloodbeer's awake, which I'm pretty sure he is. He probably still is. So
Bloodbeer's up.
Hadn't slept a wink.
Let's try to be a little quiet, getting our stuff down. So
okay, Bloodbeer will just try to tiptoe and start untying stuff and packing stuff up and just try to be as quiet as he can.
Gonna resecure everything on the sled real good. Traveling check for that.
Do it.
Oh, there's an 8. There's another 8. Oh, it's secure as hell. Matter of fact, I'm probably gonna get a 8, 16.
Apparently you used modern tie downs and bungee cords for that shit, man.
Yeah, that's good. That's gonna be a 37 total.
Oh Christ!
I rolled 3 8s on one die and it's 7 on the other. So,
traveling, as it comes down to, traveling is a cunning skill. So remember to put that tally mark there.
Well, there we go. So,
I'm gonna say with that test, you can actually have that bleed over to the day's traveling. You guys hit the ground running and then some.
okay.
And you will make it to this encampment that the chieftain Law had denoted for you. We'll say you're about 300 yards away from their outmost perimeter. Where and what and how do you wish to proceed?
Probably I want to get to some high ground first.
Okay.
You can see down into their camp if possible.
Let's see. You absolutely can find an vantage point. Make me a stealth test because there are eyes in that location.
All right. Not as great. They might actually spot us in this case. 11.
Oh, son of a bitch. They do. And the alarm has been sounded. There is a war horn that echoes this section of the valley. What do you guys wish to do?
Well,
they actually had a trio of sentries up on the cliff that you were going to go to. So,
oh, okay. Well, Vlogger, do you want to bluff our way through this, or do you want to fight some guys?
Let's kill them all.
Sounds good to me. Yep. Drop gear and go to war footing.
That's right.
Are you gonna leave the sled there and because they just ran off into the bush, you may or may not have some time to cover it.
Yeah, let's do a hasty covering of it, just a real quick.
Break a branch off a tree, throw it on top of there.
Yeah, 22. So shove it in a hole and cover it with some dirt. And then so I'm gonna as I said, look for a vantage point where I can get some good shots downward if I have to with my bow. Be catching as they're coming up.
In this section, it's mostly pine trees, but you
Okay.
possibly could climb up one.
Okay. I mean, I'll just basically I'm probably just going to take a position on the ground next to a pine tree so I can actually see down this hill. So
Okay. Well, you guys are partway up the hill.
Okay. Ooh.
So I'll say if it's probably about 100 feet straight up,
Okay.
you're about 30 feet up the incline.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna find a place with good footing because I can tell you from experience going uphill with pine straw on the ground is a real serious bitch. So,
Oh yeah. Oh,
so
just dude, I totally know. I
yeah.
want to put you in this situation.
Okay. So I'm going to make myself some good footing by clearing an area out. So and behind a tree, so I can fire down, not fall. So.
All right. As there is 6 cultists armed with copper and bronze broadswords and battle axes, who basically, you assume these guys are cultists, but they look like bandits. It's just
Okay.
there's no uniform. They're just cobbled together hides, leather, and fur. Couple of them have shields, a couple of them don't. 6 of these guys crash out of a bush near you, and a few moments later, they have 2 trolls with them.
Trolls.
Trolls, Trolls, not the online asshole trolls, but the ones that eat ogres.
Don't like.
Sorry, Keith, what was that?
The ones the ogres don't like.
No, yeah, well, nobody likes trolls except for Blogbeer. Blogbeer probably loves trolls.
Okay.
They are male trolls, so they're hideous, as troll women are thin and beautiful.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to switch out arrows. I'm going bronze arrow tips to fey iron arrows, just in case.
All right, so
Time to use the special stuff. I guess we reaction test, right?
Yeah.
All right. Just in time for a nice big rumble of thunder out there.
Is a 9 for me.
Oh shit! All right.
14 here.
Ooh, okay. So the 2 trolls go first with a 16 and a 15. Shihan goes with 14, and the cultists and Blogveer, depending on who has the higher cunning modifier, goes.
That's close.
They have a cunning modifier of +1.
I have a cunning modifier +1 also.
All right, I'll say tie goes to the players then. All right, you'll go first. So one goblin, one troll comes out with this enormous club that more or less looks like a goddamn caber in the Highland games. And he comes across with this big sweeping arc, seeing if he can have a go at Blogveer for a 17 attack. And to describe trolls, trolls are about 16 and a half feet tall. They're not giants, but they're certainly bigger than ogres.
That is a 20 on defense.
Oh shit! Okay, describe for us how you possibly get out of the way of this tree.
as he's just swiping at me, I kind of pull a Neo from the Matrix and do my best, kind of just go underneath it, limbo style, the best Bloodbeard can do, and just try to just avoid getting decapitated.
All right, so the second troll is going to come across with a troll-sized bronze broadsword, as this thing looks absolutely enormous. For size comparison, the trollish broadsword would be a great sword or a two-handed sword on an ogre. So he comes across with an 18. This guy is particularly well armored. He's wearing a big coat of what looks to be a cobbled together mesh of bronze mail and bear hides. He also has a big round shield. And he's coming across, like I said, with an 18 at Blogveer.
Blogbeard rolled an 11, so.
Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, my God.
It's time for the rape damage.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. So what we're going to see here is 11 points of damage as Blogveer takes this broadsword and kind of this over-the-shoulder chop.
Oof.
And it'll sink down into be kind of like the meat of his shoulder there. And frustratingly, he is going to bust up one of your Smilodon pauldrons there.
No.
Right?
You fucker.
Oh, evil bastard. And Shihan is the next to act.
Blogbeard is at 6 health now.
You should be full vitality.
Oh, we full healed? I didn't. Okay, so he's not at 6 health.
Don't be jacking yourself like that.
I just thought I still had the wounds from the last battle and had him full healed, so he's about to die.
So, well, Shihan now, since he's actually gotten a bit better with his bow, now has 2 attacks. So, yeah, so he lines up with his he lines up on the first on the troll that actually just wounded Blogbeer with his first shot with a Fey Iron arrow, and that is going to be. Let's see. There's going to be a 17.
Oh my God! Yeah, no, he's not paying attention, so he's going to take that squarely wherever you described it.
Max damage. That's going to be a total of 15 points of damage from that arrow. So,
God,
and then the second one's going to follow it through if he's not down. So, let's see. 12 plus. That's going to be a 20 on that one to hit him.
Yeah, no, he is reeling from that first arrow with a 7 on his defense. So,
and this was a little bit. This only does 8 damage. So,
okay. You're gonna have to describe how you almost put this troll on his ass because you have leveled his health.
I said as he goes to pull his sword back up to reset himself after this attack on Blogbeer, Shihan unleashes his first arrow. This fella comes up with his sword over his shoulder and takes the first shot in his chest, just above his heart. Had it been an inch lower, it probably went straight through his heart, but it wasn't quite there. And then the next one comes in and hits just towards the shoulder, but a little lower, and actually goes into his lung. Doesn't kill him yet, but it definitely has 2 nice grouped arrows there in his front, and possibly it caused him to step back and slip on the pine straw, causing him to fall down the hill.
They are tall enough that they don't have to actually go up the hill.
Okay.
With the reach that they have. They actually came out of the underbrush, kind of like at the same level that you guys did. So what
Okay.
happened is your first arrow hits him, and he's basically gonna feel that impact, take the hit, and then the second arrow is actually going to knock him over, kind of like
Okay.
this rapid succession thunk thunk, and take the wind out of him.
Okay.
Um, so Blogveer is the next to act, and the only target he has is the troll with the tree.
All right. So he's going to attack the fuck out of that one. Okay. So that is 19 on the first attack.
Oh, you hit him. He's got a 17.
Okay. Let me see if I can do the other attack. That is a 19 on the second attack.
Oh, wait. Yes. So you actually get that attack through. He barely is able to block it, but you strike through his defense.
And I have one more attack I can attack him with.
Oh my God! Well done.
So that is
Oh.
a 22.
His final defense test is a 9, a big old 9. So you're gonna
All right, so
3 times.
let's roll damage for the first one. So that's 13 damage on the first attack.
Remember, it's enchanted. So you got that +1 there.
Oh, yeah, so 14 damage.
Oh my God. Okay.
Okay. And then, so that's 15 on the second.
That actually puts him down to -4 vitality. Describe for us how you dispatch this troll.
So I get my club and I go up there and I just start hammering on him. I smack him in the face with the first attack as hard as I can, and then as he's seeing stars, I rear back and I smack him right into the chest and cave in his chest, his breastplate there, his chest bone, and shatter it. And the force just makes his heart rupture, and he keels over and dead before he hits the ground, as his lumbering body just falls down.
Yeah, he's gonna fall in a bloody heap. Yeah, he's done, dude. Well done. And now the 6 cultists are going to 3 of which are going to see about having a go at Blogveer, and the other 3 are going to see about having a go at Shihan. In their first attack, they're going to come in with a 12 on their attack. They're probably not going to get through.
I got 8 on defense.
Oh no!
So
Oh, damn.
they do get through.
That is 4 vitality damage.
And I have 4 suppression. So
Okay. You'll go ahead and describe for us how you receive that hit, but there's no damage taken.
they cleave in at me with their axes and swords, and it just my armor laughs at them as it just deflects it, like rubber, just like a little rubber ball just bouncing off the ground, just boom, and they're just like ha 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 ha, and the vibration just sends through their little arm. They're shaking like oh, and
All right, second attack. Oh, for Christ's sake, comes in at a whopping 7.
I also rolled a 7.
Oh, well, tie goes to the defender. All right. So last attack is a big ol' 14.
Ooh. That's an 18 on defense for that.
Okay. So yeah, you take no damage this round. Well, done, man.
Nice.
It's very rare for Blogbeard not to take damage.
For Shihan, somebody comes in with a 15 with copper axe.
Okay. Damn. Okay.
Does that get through?
No.
No.
25 on my defense on that one.
Second attack is a 19. They're getting better.
Okay. That's a 24 on that one.
Oh, for God's sake. All right.
My dice are happy tonight. Oh, I might get to this one.
Oh, shit. Okay. With the 22 on the last attack.
I have a 10 on that one.
Oh, damn. Okay. Okay. He knifes this bronze sword into, we'll say, your thigh for 9 points of damage.
Okay, so part of the armor takes part of that, so it gives me a total of 6 I actually take. So yeah, I can scream out in pain. So,
Yeah, we'll say just add insult to injury. He gets it into the meat there.
okay. Okay.
Now back to the top of the round. That severely wounded troll is unable to stand, and he's going to take 1 point of vitality damage this round as he is bleeding to death.
Okay.
There is one less troll as Blogveer has slain him. Shihan is the next to act then.
All right. I am going to start seeing red because this guy actually ended the blow on me, and I'm dropping my bow and pulling my sword and I'm going to try to shove it into this guy's chest.
He's got rage corruption, hasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, go for it, man. You can actually go into the red mist with fury.
Okay. In that case, that's going to be a 20.
Nice. And he totally blocks it with a big old 5.
All right. I blow through his defenses, and I hit him for a total of 9 points of damage.
Okay. That is actually going to dispatch him. So
Okay.
go ahead, let us know how brutally you murder him.
So I pull out my I draw the sword out and I plunge it into his chest as I lean forward down the hill toward this guy, and I scream in his face as I kick his body down the hill.
Fadum, crunch.
Yeah.
All right, so that is Shihan's turn. Now, Blogveer is the next to act. You've got 3 cultists who are very laughably trying to get through your armor.
And I have a nice club waiting for them.
Ooh.
So I'm going to bring down my spike mallet of ass-beating rape doom upon them. So
Ogre ass beating.
that's right.
Oh, no, it's
Okay.
ass beating.
So the first attack is a 20.
Yep, no, he can't match that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I attack all 3? Like attack one, then attack another, then attack the other?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so the first one I hit, and the second one, oof, that's a crit fail.
Oh no!
That is a critical failure.
Oh shit! Oh,
These dice must be burned.
All right. Let's see.
So the first one I hit. Second one pulls some voodoo magic on me, and I just get fucked.
All right. Critical failure chart. Oh my god. Do you want me to roll a die?
Yep. No. You go. You go for it.
Oh,
You're the narrator.
Oh
It's
shit!
in your hand. Yep.
Oh no! Okay. Oh wait. Actually, hang on. Okay, that's an 8. All right, so an 8 on the critical failure chart is simply a poor technique. Perhaps unnerved by the bloodlust of the situation, but your technique seems to have flown to the hills as your strikes swing furiously, but do not find purchase or deal your victim any harm.
Okay, so I hit the first one. The second one, I am just in a fury and just swing around him, and he looks at me like I'm crazy. And then I can
roll damage on the first one, though.
Do I need to roll attack on the third one, though? Can I still attack the third one?
No, dude.
Yeah, because it could fail. So, all right, he's lucky. He's lucky that I just swing wildly. So let's see.
He's got 9 vitality total.
13 on him, so he's.
Yeah. So that third guy is real fucking lucky because he bear witness to what the hell you're gonna do to his buddy.
So I bring down my club and I smack his head down into his chest cavity, as is a custom. So he's walking around for a little bit with just his head inside his chest cavity and with his arms flailing, like a little turtle inside there. And then he falls down, and I just swing around the other guy like I'm at a rave or something, and he just stares at me like I'm mentally challenged ogre. And
they're actually both of them are going to fail their kind of like their morale test for that moment. They're going to back up because they see what you did to their friend, and you try and you failed, but they're gonna like, oh shit, and get back. So
it was all planned, all according to plan.
Of course, absolutely. The 2 remaining cultists are going to have a go at Shihan for a big ol' 9.
All right, that's a 12 for my defense on that one.
Oh, for God's sake! All right, and a big ol' 14 for the
14 for me too. So
a tie goes to the defender. God damn it! All right. So we are back to the top. Alas, the troll dies of his wounds at the bottom of the hill.
As he should.
Shihan is the next attack.
Okay, one of the 2 guys who just attacked me, I'm yelling at him and swinging at him. Or swinging at him. So
plus 2 plus 2 attack.
17.
17. And you're going to get through because he's only got a 14.
Oh, max damage on that one. That's going to be 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14 points damage.
Oh, yeah. Describe for us how you dispatch him. They only have 9 vitality.
That's that. After I kick the one guy down the hill, I scream at that guy and I take a big backhanded swing at him with my sword and just lop his head clean off. Matter of fact, to the point where as I do that, I literally bury tip my sword in the side of the hill behind him, and have to jerk it out.
Well done. All right. So, Blogver, you've got 2 other targets in your environment there.
All right. Let's see if I can redeem myself. I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about. That was all planned, so there's no redemption necessary.
Yeah, you didn't use face. There's nothing.
So that one is an 18 on the first tag.
Oh shit! Oh my god, that is a 22.
Oh well, I missed that one. Do I roll for the second attack on the other guy? Or that is that's a 13.
Oh wait, shit. Oh yeah, hey, he gets a 9. So go ahead and roll damage on that one.
All right. God damn it. That is a it's an 18.
18 damage?
Yeah, 18 damage.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. You doubled his... Yeah, he's done.
So,
try for us how you dispatch him.
I pop his head off like a Rock'em Sock'em robot, and it pulls his spine, up through his body. Not all the way, though, so it looks like he's a giraffe. And it just pull and then just dangles down. And then as the the momentum of that sends him falling backwards and just rolling down the hill like a grotesque log.
Oh God, that's brutal. Okay. Beautiful. Now, the remaining cultist is actually going to attempt to attack Blogveer, and he's gonna totally do damage with a 9.
13.
Yeah, no, he's done. All right, so I think we're back up to Shihan there. You have one guy left.
Okay, I'm going to have at him straight up.
Get him.
Get this one. 10.
Oh my God. Okay. He actually crits on his defense. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna bring his shield up as your sword lashes out. It's gonna bang off of his shield, and we'll say, all right, it's going to take some durability damage as you are rather furiously swinging here. Make me a durability test here for your sword, and it's Fey Iron, so
It's a +4, right? To its durability.
Durability test for Fey Iron is +2.
Okay. So that's going to be a 21.
All right.
8, 6, a 5, and a 2.
Let me check here. Yeah, no, it holds together. You kind of blunted it a little bit, but it holds together.
Okay.
And now, it's actually Shihan's turn to. Or is it? Wait, sorry, no,
I just went up.
All right, so we got like what, one left?
Yeah, there's one left. You can take a few steps down. Dispatch this guy.
All right, so that is a 19 on attack.
Yeah, he's got a whopping 11 on his defense. He's not paying attention to you at all.
He was excited about talking to me like that.
That's a 20 on damage.
Oh my
20.
God. Yeah. As you have the high ground and you're swinging, he's either going to be hammered into the ground like a nail, or he's going to catch some air. You choose.
I'm going to send him on the Arcanar space program.
Oh,
I'm going to catapult this son of a bitch into the stars. So I will bring it up and I will catch him in the groin, and I will just send him flying into the air with all my strength.
Yeah, so the spikes of your ass beating mallet there.
He's a eunuch now.
Yeah, you break every bone in his body from that angle. He's mangled, and he actually comes apart in just a red pulp and showers his pine tree just maybe 100 yards away. Just we'll put it that way.
Beautiful. Just screaming carnage the whole time. Carnage.
So that is 8 combatants, 2 trolls, 6 cultists down. Shihan finally coming out of the red mist there. I need Shihan to make a corruption defense test here. That's going to be sight based.
That's going to be an 8.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
He has low sight, so.
Well, he is Fey. Most Fey have low sight. He's actually going to take on the corruption trait, Bloodthirsty. Character takes on the fury ability of a barbarian savage, but must make a corruption defense test every time they actually use fury or go into the red mist.
Okay.
But when it comes to bloodthirsty, the corruption defense test is actually a target difficulty of 8. It's not a standard corruption.
All right,
I
here
could
we
have
go.
swore that Blogfear was actually going to take bloodthirsty before Shihan did, but hey.
Well, as
The
I come out,
goddess, she works in mysterious ways.
Right?
as I come out of this, I'm going to look at, of course, tear off some cloth and off a blanket and bind my wound on my leg. So
Right.
that is going to be an apothecary check of 13 for that.
Yeah, you are able to stop the bleeding there.
See, Bloodbeard, come here. Let me look at your wounds, see if I need to do something with it real quick.
Oh, yes, of course.
God, I know how to do it. That is going to be a 17 for his.
Yeah, he doesn't have any bleeding wounds at this time.
Okay. Okay, I'll just make sure that it's just not, it's not too bad. And tell him we need to get somewhere it's concealed so I can put together some poultices for that so it doesn't get infected.
If you do that, you're going to be taking most of the day because medicine has to be prepared.
We may have to though. So,
Am I able to salvage my broken pauldron so that I may take it to a blacksmith or something, hopefully, and get it reforged?
Nah, man, that thing's shattered.
Oh, I just weep. I weep. No,
we'll
not
find
my
you.
armor.
I'll go down and retrieve my 2 arrows out of the one troll, and I'll look and see. Do they have anything of interest on these guys at all? I mean, you said they had some broadswords and axes and stuff. But do they have anything, any pouches or anything with anything tucked in there, I don't know, maybe orders possibly or something like that?
No orders, no. But you do find that they do have a little bit of Atlantean coinage on them.
Okay. Take that, split with Bloodbeard.
They have what looks to be a few days' rations for personal meals for each of them.
Okay.
Trolls have double that amount because obviously trolls will need more food.
Okay.
And
all right.
is that troll broadsword and the troll shield to deal with there.
Troll shield. That could be an interesting thing for you there, Bloodbeard.
You said it was copper?
The shield is made of wood. The sword is made of bronze.
Ooh, that is. I mean, Longfear's not good with it, but that's still. I mean, that's a giant bronze sword. It could fetch a nice price or nice trade or something.
Right.
Be heavy as shit though to put on stuff, but
Right.
just pick it up and put it on a little sled. Just make room for it, maybe, or try to.
It's a big chunk of metal.
That's a big hunk of metal. I mean, just melt it down for the resources alone. I mean, we can barter like shit.
Yeah, right. Let's take a quick 10-minute break here then.
Okay. All right. See you guys in a few minutes.
All right, get back. I'm back.
All right, you're back. So you
Me
have
too.
little to no time to tend your wounds as you hear shouts of the camp just kind of erupt there for you, some dozen yards beyond that kind of wall of evergreens there. What do you two wish to do?
We need to get out of here, Bloodbeard. We're wounded, and sounds like there's a lot more of them down there. But they'll, I think they'll think twice about chasing us with those. I motioned toward the two troll bodies there. With those down like that, they may be a little hesitant to chase us in the forest. But we need to get away from these things and tend our wounds.
I'm not one for retreating, but
Me
I
either.
agree.
But, I mean, we have them outnumbered, but still, I'd rather have the advantage. So
Very
we'll,
well.
so we'll hobble our way back up to the sled and get it, and try to cover our tracks a bit. Bit of wilderness lore here, real quick. It's going to be a 13 on the wilderness lore.
All right. You're pretty sure you did a good enough job covering your tracks, but only time will tell. As you get back to your sled, that whole area kind of just erupts with a few dozen of these cultist bandits. You do see that there's a handful of priests among them, of possibly some dedicated to some god that you're not familiar with. As those colors, you're not familiar with those colors. The kind of a blue, a gray, a black, and maybe a splash of like a gold in there. You're not familiar with what that means.
Okay, so we'll just probably need to head on out up probably up the hill. I'm thinking, see if we can go further up the hill because they'll probably think we'll go down.
Okay, okay? You guys retreated back to your sled. That's not
That's down.
this
Yeah.
hill. No, you guys
Okay.
you guys have left the area at that point.
Yeah, I'm just saying as far as going back get the sled, and then we take the sled and start like going up the back side of the valley, basically, away from the from where they were at.
So you're going back the way you came, is what you're saying?
Basically, yeah.
Okay. How far do you wish to retreat then?
I say we travel a good hour or so until we, unless we hear them pursuing us, then we keep going until we don't hear anymore. So, or until we find a good defensive spot. Maybe actually to our campsite if we have to go out far. Actually, that's a couple days away though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a couple days away.
Yeah, not that far. So yeah, just looking for a good defensible spot, at least an hour away, and see if they can get them tired out before they come toward it to us.
Let's say, okay, you find a cave
Okay.
that you can hole up in.
Okay, let's do that. What do you think, Bloodbeard?
The cave is large enough for Blogveer to hide inside as well, so keep that in mind.
Okay.
It is defensible. There is only one way in, but we are trapped if they overwhelm us, but it will be a glorious death.
Yeah, they can only come in at us so many at a time. So, I'm gonna do a little trick I've been using with try to cover the mouth of the cave with some brush or something like that to make it look like either we're not in there or, or at least maybe even hide the cave itself completely. That's gonna be an 18 for wilderness lore on that.
Yes, that you're able to camouflage the doorway.
Okay, so, and then inside build as small a fire as I can that to get the stringing of pulses and stuff started put together to maybe get us filled up a little bit.
Are you meaning to boil anything?
I mean, I'm assuming we have to doing the pulses. We'll have to heat something up possibly.
Right. Okay.
So
you guys do have a small kettle to do such a thing in.
I'll just stand guard while he does his witchcraft, his babushka work.
Okay.
No,
Yep.
it could be considered witchcraft, but hey.
Yeah, it would be actually. But yeah, so yeah, I just that's what I'll be occupying my time with probably for the next 8 hours, I think it is. So.
Let's see. Let me check.
Or should I do an apothecary check and let that inform you of that?
I'm checking that out right now.
Oh, that's right.
What the hell? Hang on here. I have to find it in the guidebook. I have no idea where the hell this went to. I was just working on apothecary just a bit ago. Here we go. So now, apothecary. What did you roll for your apothecary?
19 total.
That will take you the next 10 hours to do that.
Okay. All right, and that's what I'll be doing for next 10 hours then.
And then I'll actually be making one poultice. So
okay. I'll probably make it for Blogbeer because he's just like he's opened up a little bigger than I am. I'll just tend my wound as needed without that then. So I'll limp around, but I have bound at least.
Okay.
Yeah, do I still have that minor wound that I got? Or
he was able to stabilize you, so you're not bleeding anymore.
okay.
So, okay. All right. And then so once I get that taken care of, I'll smear that stuff on Blockbeer's wound there and cover it, and then hopefully he'll heal okay.
Many thanks.
You're welcome. Then I'll clean and refresh my bandage, and yay, my leg didn't fall off.
Right? No, but you die of sepsis 3 days later.
Yeah, that's a whole 12 on my apothecary for my leg, just to clean it. So
does it smell like almonds to you?
Almonds?
No. You guys will be fine for now. However, you will need proper medical attention within the next 48 hours.
Okay.
So what happens here now for the past 10 hours, Shihan has been preparing medicine. It is now late into the evening. We'll say it's about 2 o'clock in the morning now is when that actually gets finished. What do you guys wish to do?
Oh, I'm exhausted. I'm going to go to sleep.
I'm going to try to stand guard, still kind of on the edge. They could have tracked us by now. I'm just waiting at ambush or something. So Blogbeer will try to stay watch as long as he can. He knows that Shihan needs his rest, and I mean, he needs his rest too, but he's kind of on edge, so he will just try to stay up and stay on guard.
All right. It's the first 4 hours of the evening pass uneventfully. All right. Second third of the evening, nothing. And now, before dawn. Oh, great. Blogveer hears something stir in the back of the cave.
Oh, sweet Lady Carnage. All right, he is the fire still going? Is it dying down? Is it just embers now, or
there's a small glow there. I'll say that Shihan put enough fuel in there to make it burn all night.
So I can stick a torch in there and try to light it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I'll do that, and then I will hesitantly and against better judgment go to the back of the cave and try to illuminate it to see what is going on back there, and hopefully it's not a giant bear or something. Oh God!
You find an enormous, shaggy-haired sloth.
Can I domesticate? Can be my pet now?
Oh, no.
No, you cannot tame a woolen ravager because, well, first off, oh no, I
If
just
Skarnir was here.
Skarnir, yes. Oh my god.
Damn it, Skarnir! I could have had a freaking sloth pet.
Yeah, no, it's woolen ravagers are basically giant prehistoric sloths that are carnivores. So they're a big sloth.
Oh, I love sloth. It's gonna literally kill my soul to have to kill this thing.
They
I'm gonna
eat
die in
you
real
slow.
life.
They eat you
Oh.
slow. Yep, they just eat you
I'm
slow.
not gonna be able to sleep tonight. All right, so Blogveer will attempt to rouse Shihan from his slumber without trying to startle his giant carnivorous beautiful creature. I'm be like, Shihan,
What?
shh,
What?
there's a giant ravager over there. He wishes to devour us.
Okay, I'll look over and see it. Okay, just quietly get yourself together because they're slow, I think.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Apparently they're slow. Uh-huh.
I think they are.
She doesn't know very much about animals, does he?
Well, I mean, he's got wilderness lore, but he also just woke up.
I mean, is he like eyeballing us? Is he like
Actually,
aggressive? Is he still sleeping? Like, what's going on with him?
Oh, he stirred and then went back to sleep.
Okay, good. Yeah.
I just felt the wilderness lore, so yes, he does think they're actually very slow.
Oh, gotcha.
Blogveer's gonna be cautious though. He's not gonna take his eyes off of him. He's just gonna try to slowly get his stuff ready. He doesn't want to wake this creature.
Just being slow.
And Shihan probably just felt like asleep, like an alarm clock with a snooze button. So
No, I'm waking up. I'm getting my stuff together. I'm just doing it sort of slowly. Like, don't worry, man. They're not very fast. They're ambush predators. Once you see that they're there, they can't get you.
I don't know. I still would rather err on the side of caution.
Okay, that's fine. So he starts getting his stuff together and getting ready to move out of this thing too. So
I'm guessing he's just like brazenly whatever, knocking stuff over. He's half asleep. Not
No,
trying to be subtle.
I'm-
He's like he can't get us. He's too slow.
no, I'm actually being somewhat out of weight now. But yeah, it's I went ahead and did a conditioning test for him to see if he actually would wake up good. He had 14, so
Well,
hopefully,
it's
so.
not fragile this morning, but it's slow.
I mean, Blogbeard probably should make one too, since he's been staying up all night.
Yeah, you gotta make a condition test or a question.
Okay, so that's a 21 on conditioning.
Oh, wow. Well done. You do not take a grade of exhaustion.
Something years of soldiery, force marches.
12 hours from now, you will need to make another conditioning test and possibly a grade of exhaustion.
Oh damn! That's if we survive this magnificent creature,
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Big shaggy thing.
Maybe slow, but he probably has long ass fucking giraffe arms. Like,
and big ass goddamn claws.
yeah.
Yeah, big ass claws. Anyway,
Pick your nose from 11 feet away with. Yeah, those kind
of the ones you can really comb your hair. So Shihan gets his stuff together and moves aside the brush and sticks his head out and listens. See if he can hear the movement of anyone out there. It's going to be a 19 on that, an awareness test.
You do not see movement, but you peer up into the sky, and that griffin is out prowling around, prowling the skies.
Yeah, I think to myself, left you some food over there. So, and basically go out and stick to the edge and mention to Blogger, hey, Blogger, that Griffin's out here.
Oh, by the great goddess.
Not like right here, but in the air. So be careful, stay close to, under the trees and stuff, so he doesn't think you're like a, big woolly sloth or something.
Yeah, Blogbeer still tries to act like stone-like, I guess. I don't know how he does exactly when his movements and everything, but he tries to appear untasty again. He tries to appear like there's a giant, nasty boulder that is moving through the forest. Just don't mind the fact that it's moving. Just leave me alone, Griffin, basically.
Yeah.
Maybe throw some like dirt and sand or something, like some rocks and rub it on him. I don't know. He's trying to appear unappealing.
All right. So where do you wish to go? At like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I guess we start dragging our tired asses. I guess. Blogbeer, what do you think about possibly going back to the over to where the Goblin Village is?
I'm exhausted.
To the village, but we're gonna need. I mean, you're gonna need to be tended by somebody who knows what they're doing here at some point soon.
You as well.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I could go for a little while longer before I'm dead on my feet. But the goblins will not be hospitable, I don't believe. And we are too far from a friendly village.
I wish we'd gotten ahead of a troll. Should have thought about that.
We could go and see if the head is still there if you wish.
I don't know if I want to go back there right now or not. We might be walking into a trap if we are, and with that thing circling above us. If we're there and it decides to come down for a meal, it might think we're challenging it, and the next thing you know, we're in some kind of a dominant struggle with a griffin.
We don't have many options. We could go back and try to ambush them while they sleep. We could track all the way back to a friendly village.
That's an interesting idea.
They would probably be on alert, but they would also have to sleep.
They would.
With the griffin prowling about, they probably won't stray too far from their camp.
That's true. If those bodies are still there, we possibly could go back and get a head, possibly at least some ears, something to take back to the goblin, and say, hey, here's some cultist ears or whatever.
Because both of our wounds will need to be tended to soon, and I'm not keen of a goblin poking me, but
me either.
Beggars can't be choosers, and if they will help, then we need it. So you're the forest man. I will leave it to your expertise, but.
Let's limp our way back towards there and see what we can find, and then if there's trophies to be taken, take them, and then get back to.
I will let your fleet feet go first. I will just hang back here. I don't wish to make the entire valley.
All right, my fleet feet, which aren't so fleet right now, for stealth purposes. Let's see, what does that actually make out to be? That's a 9.
Oh.
Yeah, really not great. So, having a little stumbling in the dark, I guess. I guess maybe beat our tracks back to where the battle was and see if there's any bodies laying out there.
Miss Flying Meat Hooks is having a go at one of those trolls that you left out there.
That's what I was afraid of.
Yeah, she's ripping into this thing. She's having a heyday. Nom 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 nom. Yeah, it's she's already made some pretty good work of what's left of his tunic is in shreds. The Griffin of Arklanar is quite literally a beak, 2 sets of meat hooks on. Or say a set of meat hooks on each foot, and a stomach with wings. So yeah.
Well, Blogger, that plan's not going to go anywhere.
Well, she won't be there all day.
I know, but I don't want to stay here and wait. That's the thing.
The sun's not even up yet.
That's true. We can sit and wait.
And if all else fails, we could sneak in and free the goblins. Maybe then they will be more inclined to help us. Everything seems fucked, though. They really got us into a corner, metaphorically.
Yeah, we might be able to get in there. Yeah, let me take a look down the hill.
Don't
Keep
do
an eye-
anything too stupid. I need you
Keep an eye-
alive, Red Blade.
Yeah, keep an eye on her, and if she does anything odd, give us a hoot on the horn.
Don't worry. I'll do you one better. I'll keep 2 eyes on her.
Oh, okay. Sheehan will take his or attempt to be stealthy, going around her with a 12, staying far away, not approaching her, and going circling around.
Okay.
So,
There are, oh Jesus, they're not doing very well this morning. The sentries, there are 2 posts. You sneak past both of them. The first stupid ass is sleeping on duty, and to quote the Roman military handbook, "Woe befall the man who falls asleep on night watch."
If I knew he wouldn't wake him up, I would befall him woefully. But I won't. I'll just leave him be.
Oh, God, you're kind. Okay.
Well, I thought about slitting his throat. I might do it on the way out. But a sleeping guard is one thing. A dead guard, a sleeping guard found by another guard is one thing. A dead guard found by another guard is an alarm. So,
Yep. Well done.
so he'll sneak on further down into the camp and see if I see any maybe slave pens or anything like that. It's gonna be a 14, getting in a little further down.
You are now in this little encampment at this point. There are 9 tents,
Okay.
with a somewhat of a larger pavilion in the center. There are 2 guards standing outside the entrance of the first tent, and there is 1 sentry that is kind of walking the perimeter of the encampment, and he's the only one on patrol.
Okay. I'm gonna go to the back of one of the tents and just peek under the flap and see what's inside.
That looks like a storage pit.
Okay. So no goblins in there. Okay. Check the other one out.
That one is has a bunch of people chained to posts, kind of like the tent posts, if you will.
Okay.
There.
Are they humans? Are they goblins?
Goblins, humans, a couple fair folk in there, but yeah.
Okay.
There is one particular human that does not look Nemersian.
Okay. Are they just tied, or are they like shackled?
They are shackled to the tent posts.
Okay. So I couldn't go in there with a knife and free them all, could I?
No, not in this case.
Okay. All right. So I am going to though and slide up underneath the back of the tent, and if they stir, motion to them to be quiet, and we'll go over to one of the fair folk.
There are 2 fair folk women there.
Okay. We'll go over to them and Feywise say, if I am going to attempt to free you, when I do, I want you to take as many of these people and run north.
She says, well, north is into the Arborian homeland.
Yes.
Are they near?
There's a village a few days travel north of here. I have companions. I will do our best to meet up with you after I dispatch these your captors, or at least cause them chaos. So
They both agree. Yeah, they've had enough of this place.
who has the keys to your shackles?
There's a captain that resides over this encampment. He leads the cultists here to raid the tombs. He lives. He lives. He sleeps. His quarters is in the main pavilion.
Is his name by chance Indukaga?
No,
Ah,
that is the cultist leader who lairs in the south here.
darn. That's why I didn't want you to go south, because I didn't want you to run into the arms of your for the captors. How many guards do you normally have here? Do you remember?
They normally have three.
Okay. I mean, totally in the camp, just three.
No, they normally have about 20,
Okay.
and their 6 are gone, and the 2 trolls that were
Okay.
here are now gone too.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to try. I'm going to see if I can find the keys to your shackles and free you, and maybe cause a bit of mischief in the process. So shh, be quiet and get everyone else ready to go. So I'm going to go back to the back of the tent again and wait until the sentry passes.
Okay.
And then once he's around the side of the tent, I'll roll out and follow him around with a 17.
All right. He is particularly oblivious to you at this time.
Okay. I'll follow him around till I'm there at the back of the main tent in the middle. And I'm going to basically on the opposite side of the tent from where the guards are, and I'm going to go up to the back of it.
Okay.
And see if I can duck under that.
Yeah. Make a stealth test to see if you can get under there.
All right. 27.
You're gonna have to actually lay down on the ground and then roll through. The tent doesn't go up very far, but you're able to get through.
That's what I've probably been envisioning when I'm going under the bottom of the tents, is doing that.
Okay.
So yeah. And what's inside?
It looks to be a private quarters. There's a bed, like 6 feet away. There is a body sleeping in said bed. There looks to be kind of a carved wood armoire, which looks actually of the fair folk fashion, clearly stolen. There's a footlocker, furs, a desk, and a nightstand just off to the side of the bed.
Okay. I'm looking around, sort of, as I said, sort of stealth, looking for keys or anything like that. It might be. Just do an awareness check, I guess, for that.
All right, as this is kind of a high pressure situation here, I am going to have you make another stealth test.
Okay.
As you go ahead and
additional stealth test. All right, that one's going to be a 15.
Ooh. Oh shit. Ooh. Oh my. Okay. All right.
Okay.
He takes a big ol' 3.
Okay.
Sleeping
All right.
soundly.
Okay, so this, I'm going to look around when the awareness test and look around. Oh, that's better. So
you wait. What was the?
That's going to be a 20 on the awareness test.
Okay, you find it takes you about 20 minutes to find this, but it feels like it takes hours.
Yeah.
As you keep every time he like snorts or groans and rolls over, what little body hair that you have stands on end.
Okay. Anything, any kind of paperwork I see laying about, I am taking and rolling up and putting in a pouch as well. So I'm just going to see, could be information that could be useful as well while I'm going through all this stuff. So I'm not even looking at it. So it might just be a list of supplies for all I know. But
You just simply find what kind of like a clay, not a clay tablet, a wax tablet, and a very primitive ledger in there. But aside from that, those are the only two forms of like literature that you find.
Okay, so I'll slip them in my pouch and then grab the keys there. And does he have a candle by chance?
What's that?
Like, is it like a candle or candelabras or a lamp or anything burning, or is it just dark in here?
There is a candle, but it's smoking as if the candle had gone out within minutes of you getting here.
Okay.
Flaming. You find keys in his uniform.
Okay.
Like his armor, his cape, his cloak.
Yeah. So he just laid down. So okay.
Actually, his stuff is hanging on like think of a bed. It's got the four posts there.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of draped over one of the legs of the bed.
Okay.
Lazily, he just shed his armor and then face planted.
Okay. All right. In that case, I am going to let me see here, because I want to let him know someone was in here.
Ooh.
I am going to take the candle out of its candle holder.
It doesn't have a candle holder.
It just sits there. Okay.
Kind of melted to the table nearby.
In that case, I am going to. Well, I want to see if I can pick it up without it making a loud noise.
Okay.
Okay, that's a possibility. That's gonna be a 14 on a stealth check.
So you kind of like peel it off of the table as it's half melted on there.
Right. Yeah. And I am going to take it and I am going to place it at the foot of his bed, like just like as if say someone were going to try to light his bedding on fire with the candle. But of course it's out. So, but he'll know. Oh crap! Someone was here if he pays attention. And then I'm going to go back out the way I came in. So.
Okay. All right. So, for Blogfear's benefit here, we'll say Shihan's been gone for maybe about 40 minutes.
Oh my God.
Which, due to the tension of the situation, it sounds like he feels like he's been there for weeks. Oh God, it's awful.
Vladimir, he's on edge and pacing back and forth and all that, but he trusts that Shihan knows what he's doing, and he hasn't heard shouting or alarms raised or battle or anything. So he's going to keep waiting, and hopefully Shihan didn't just die of like a heart attack or something. So until he hears battle or alarms raised, he's just going to trust in him and the Red Blade. So he'll just be on pins and needles waiting.
That griffin, however, has had her fill of most of that troll that you left, and she has buggered off. Did
she leave a head, or did she pick everything clean?
No, she just ate his organs, his chest, and it's just his chest cavity is open.
Oh well, in that case, I'll go over there and I'll take the great troll sword that I have on the sled and just use it to cut off his head. And then we'll take that just in case it falls apart. And she wanted a troll head, so we got one. So
there are two trolls, mind you.
I mean, sure. More the merrier, I guess. We'll take two of them just in case. Two nasty, disgusting troll heads.
New pauldrons.
Just lop them some bitches off. There we go. I just put one of them on my pauldron, just shove it on there and tie it down with some rope. There we go.
So I put a little tape on that. Okay. All right. So. Do you want me to roll for stealth, or do you want me to tell you how I just rolled for stealth? Because I just rolled something stupid for stealth. And so I will re-roll it if you want me
to escape.
Well, I'm trying to get back over to the tent with the slaves, and then free them, and hopefully get some of. I'm taking the goblins with me, and the rest I want to send basically independently south, or so back to the Arborians.
Okay.
But you know what my crazy stealth was?
What was your crazy stealth?
47.
Oh my God.
I rolled an 8 and it just kept rolling. It just kept rolling.
Beautiful. Oh my God.
So
the highest roll for the system to date is a 52, though.
I did not get that. Not a record. So,
all right. So you are as invisible as a demon against a moonless night sky.
okay.
You get back there, and you make it look good too, even though no one saw you.
Exactly. So, all right.
Gods of thieves were like, ooh, shit, that's good. Ooh.
I actually entered another dimension and I saw a giant red eye off in the distance, and it didn't see me.
Right.
I get inside. I'm going to start getting the shackles off of all these slaves, and I tell them very quietly. I tell the fair folk women to take these people south to the Arborians and tell them that
North.
North, and tell them that Shehane sent you to them. They'll know who I am. And I ask the goblins if any of them speak the Mercian or bearded folk.
One of them does.
Okay. I tell him I'm here to rescue you as well, and you come with me. I'll take you back to your village. So.
The one that does speak the mortal tongue, he doesn't really have much to protest because you're helping him, but he clearly doesn't trust you.
I look at him and I say, Lars sent me.
Yeah, some of that suspicion disappears, but Fae have been known to lie.
Well, what do you think? I'm going to get out there and feed you to ogres? Don't worry about that. I won't feed you to ogres.
Okay, so you are going to be rescuing 8 goblins here.
Okay.
And I'm going to see about rolling a stealth roll for them as a group. And oh shit! Actually, oh my God, that's actually really, really good. They actually did a 23 on their stealth. Amazingly.
Nice. And I'll roll mine real quick.
Exfiltration. Partially.
It's going to be 21 for me. So they're actually a little better than me.
Yeah, so you exfiltrate this camp successfully.
All right.
Just in time to see that griffin take off.
Mm-hmm.
And Blogveer is beheading those 2 trolls.
Okay. Is that one guard still asleep?
Yeah, he's still dead.
Let's make sure he doesn't wake up.
Oh shit!
That's just a pretty dry.
For it, you just cut his throat.
Okay, so yeah, I just come up and.
Yeah, his eyes go open. He gurgles. He grabs you, but he basically dies in your arms.
Okay. And I'm going to take his weapon and give it to the goblin who speaks Nemercian. Make sure he's armed.
A copper hand axe.
Okay, there you go. You're now armed. So would I arm someone I'm going to feed an ogre? Never. So, and then lead them up to Blogbeer.
Yeah, he does see an ogre. Lead him to an ogre.
He just shoots you a dirty goblin look.
I'm not going to feed you to
him. As he has 2 troll heads hanging from in one hand by the hair. There you go.
Yeah, he's already good. He's already eaten that one of the troll that was just been ravaged by the griffin.
Oh my God! Yeah. So yeah, a couple of these goblins just kind of look at each other like really scared.
But don't worry, we're on your side. So,
like what? He's an asshole puckers a little bit. Yeah, right.
I tell them we need to get out of here now because as soon as they realize that we freed you, you people, they're going to be looking for you, and we don't want to be caught by them. So, are there any weapons scattered about up here? That were left over from these guys?
the guys that tried coming after you previously before you escaped,
Yeah.
they policed all of the gear.
Okay. I didn't think there would be anything like, just in case. All right.
Right.
So you guys are armed with an axe. I'll pull out one of. Actually, let me go over to the sled. I'll hand my spear to one of the other goblins, so at least they're armed too. So in case we come across anything, we have some backup and start heading toward their village. So
That looks like 5.5 days now.
okay.
Go ahead and mark off your provisions there, and
Getting very, very, very low. I'm going to try to do a wilderness more hunt a little bit just to add to that because now we have more mouths to feed. And we have more provisions too, but because we got those one other guys that we killed. But no. It's going to be a 18. 18 for wilderness war.
Yeah. You are able to feed yourself with that supplemental foraging, which actually will actually say you can feed yourself, Logbeer, and 2 other goblins with that supplemental.
Okay. All right. And of course, in the evening, I'll tend to Logbeer's wound in mind just to make sure they're not getting any worse than they are.
So, all right. It's been 5 days, so you get 1 point of vitality per day, plus Shihan's spirit modifier per day,
which is 2.
So yeah,
3 per day.
You should have 2 point. Well, no, it's 1 plus your modifier, so it'd be 3.
Yeah, 3. So a total of 3 or 3 per day.
It is 1 plus your spirit modifier per day.
Okay. Then by the time we get back to the village, I'm pretty much good.
So is Bloodbeer at that point. It's 15 vitality.
Yep. So, all right. And Blog, I'll let you do the talking to these goblins because you've talked to them before.
All right. I guess we all just go up there in Motley Crew and pulling the sled with you got troll heads. I got his goblin boys here and everything. We'll approach the goblin village and hey.
They let you pass at this point, so you actually get to the village edge, and the chieftain meets you there. You actually bring back 2 of his grandchildren, and he thanks you.
Told you I'd do it, and here's a gift for you, and I give him troll heads.
Oh, and you can give him both troll heads, and he's like, "Oh, there are trolls that live in just to the west of this valley. These 2 may or may not have been part of that village. I would be careful of trolls, as well as the tree men north beyond the river there. There is one such individual of these tree men. He kills troll men, and then he takes their wives as his own. It's a strange thing, but as if you were ever to countenance these men of the trees with bark skin, you'd know how fierce they are.
They are very fierce. I say for the first time.
And so a couple of these goblins is like, oh god, fucking fairies here.
I let them know. I'm like, yeah. I mean, I did my fair share of killing, but Shihan was the one who freed your folks here, so he deserves a lot of the praise. And as for those trolls, they threw their lot in with the cultists, and they sealed their fate.
And Blogbeard didn't need any goblins either, though, so that was good too.
There are a couple goblin women come out with like baskets of like food and shit as tribute to the Fey member of the party. They leave 3 baskets of food there, which if you make a quick count, that's about a chain's worth of food right there.
I say in Feywiz, thank you for the food. And when they ask what it is, it's, oh, that's a Fey blessing.
Oh.
You'll be fruitful and have many children.
They just nod and just kind of like they kind of like back away and bow at the same time. Pitifully, they're bowing and backing away, not unlike the Blackadder, if you will.
I'll sample the fresh food we now have. So
It's fresh from somebody's garden.
nice.
And since Bloodbear is out of immediate danger, he will take a big old gulp from his Carnage Victory wineskin. I mean, he slayed a decent amount of people, so he'd take a big old gulp of that and praise her name.
Well done, my friend. Well done. But that Lar, their chieftain, bids you farewell, and again another thanks. But he does warn you that there's a fierce shadow amongst the trees that preys upon trollmen, and he takes their women.
Sounds like a nice fella.
Their offspring must be hideous.
What's that?
Their offspring must be hideous.
Oh, maybe. Maybe you don't know, man. You don't know.
They rival the Dryads of beauty.
Okay.
Troll women? Oh, yes, of course. Absolutely.
Then yes, we will keep our eyes open for the shadow. And who knows, maybe the shadow will find a shadow of his own. And sort of smile at that.
Now, since you have freed these goblins here, Lar does confirm that Endukaga's lair is guarded by quite a few more of these cultists. Like that is their compound, their headquarters. That is the site that they're let me actually get the proper word for you. That is actually where their cabal is located, and it's nestled in a crag in the south between 2 great boulders. It looks like it's been split in half, and it'll be marked by 2 big purple banners on either side, hanging from these rocks. And between these rocks, actually, goes down into this cavern, and it's quite extensive down there. There's been a few escaped slaves from that area, but the goblins know well enough to steer clear of that place.
Are there any of those escaped slaves among your people?
No, not anymore. They have since succumbed to a strange sickness after escaping.
Good to know. Dogbeer, we may need backup for this.
Exactly.
I don't
It seems like there's an army down there, and if they have some sort of witchcraft that will make me die from anything outside of combat, I don't like it.
we need a small army to assail these cultists.
We know of a person who could help us. We would have to go back.
True. And we have learned quite a bit about this. We did say we would go back and tell them.
Did you find anything of import in the camp? Orders, missives, maps?
Oh, yes, I do. I pull out the pouch with the wax tablet that I didn't get a chance to look at before and take a look at it. Is it in a language I can possibly read?
Yes, it is in the Nemersian runic script. The captain was indeed a Nemersian.
Okay. I'll take a read.
It is an order of supplies. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay. Well, we can learn a lot from supplies. Is it a large amount of supplies, or um,
It is provisions, tools, particularly more shackles and bronze tent poles for imprisoning slaves. So it looked. You probably surmise that they were making room for more laborers.
okay? So, I mean, they probably found something they needed to have more laborers for. Okay. Well, it supplies. Hand over to Blogger so you can look at it too.
Blogfer can read, can he?
I believe he can. Yeah,
He's got
he's
great
a smart ogre. If I can look at my amazing, uh, neat, totally not disarrayed skills here. He's got 3 academics.
Oh, and then yeah, he can.
Yeah.
He reads, probably reads and writes his own language, reads and writes the Mercian, and then one reads another one. I think.
I think you're right. I believe that's how it is. He can speak 3 other languages besides his own, so I believe he can read and write those. I have to look.
Okay. Either way, it's not terribly relevant at this point. But yes, you both can actually glean information from this.
Well, I can puzzle out the basics of, oh, it's a list of something. Because I don't have academics.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah.
I'm functionally illiterate, so it's just like, oh, it's a list of something. It's a list of something. That's why I had to
Not very well. Let you know everything. He'll read it off to you.
Never had to write and read and write. I just, know that people do that and put the information on there. So, okay. So, all right. So now we have that information together. I guess maybe we need to take this information back and see if we can get some of the Arborians to help us come in here and root this thing out. And of course, I'm speaking in Feywise to Blogfear about this because I don't want to say, oh yeah, as we're leaving.
Okay.
And maybe we can possibly get the goblins to. I doubt they would fight alongside the Arborians, but
I also doubt that. But we need to head there anyways to heal our wounds, resupply, and there's no way we can take on that entire cabal by ourselves.
No, not now. So, but yeah, so we'll head back to the Arborian village and let them know what we found so far, and see if those other slaves made it back yet or not.
Well, go ahead and make me a traveling test.
Okay. Okay, we fell off a cliff.
Oh, for fuck's sake! What did you do?
I rolled double ones.
Oh, we are lost. We're dead. Starving.
No. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
We went south. I bet we're lost in the woods. We in Missouri.
Nice friendly village with purple banners.
No, it's worse. You're in Alaska, dead of winter.
Now, in context, the reason I said Missouri is Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri is also referred to as Fort Lost in the Woods.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah. So,
right.
So that's where they come from.
Keith, roll me a D8.
Okay.
Just one die.
2.
Really?
Mhm.
You, man?
Yep. A 2.
You know the critical hit tables. You want to roll high.
I know.
Shit.
Hey, I'm telling you what the dice tell me. So
Oh, fuck. All right. All right.
We need Sacagawea to help us. What we need right now.
Yeah, see, you might need
Sacagawea, Daniel Boone,
We are lost.
Davy Crockett,
Aragorn.
Aragorn.
Fucking Smeagol at this point will lead us better.
God,
Gandalf and his Eagles. Yeah.
God, wow.
Are you sure this is a village? Yeah, it's a village. Looks like a cave with a bunch of ravagers in it. No, it's a village. Come on. I know where I'm going.
Meanwhile, down by the ocean. Well, I found some Atlanteans. Maybe they'll help us.
Oh no. Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, give you ideas on it.
So we'll say that with that, you lost your map. There's no way that you could have rolled so low. I mean, losing forgets map. All right. You guys leave the canyon unwittingly. You leave the canyon and you're back out on the bank of the Great Gray River. So you are like 3 weeks outside of where you should be. And your rations are maybe a day and a half, and then you'll run out.
You know, Shihan, you're looking pretty tasty.
Didn't bring any goblin provisions. Sorry. We can fish. No, we can't fish. Well, I probably shouldn't fish. Huh.
I'm no navigator, but I don't think we're supposed to be over here.
I could have swore I was going the right way. I mean,
was that before or after the map disappeared?
Oh, both. You know, when that, as I told you, it's the middle of the night, and that griffin just swooped down and just grabbed it and took off, cawing the entire way. That's the story, I'm sticking to it. Well, I know if we follow the river, upriver, eventually we'll get to the connecting river, at least to the village. Or, I mean, we're not too far. I guess we're not too far. I guess away from where the Nemercians were that we were with for a while there.
I thought you were an expert tracker and woodsman. How did you survive this long?
Well, have I led you wrong before?
It's the first time for anything.
I'm okay. I'm telling you, that stuff you have that stuff you have in that one skin is just every time I smell it, it just completely confuddles my senses. I'm sorry.
I don't blame the goddess on this.
I'm not just saying that stuff's very potent, and it's getting riper as we go. He'll try to get his bearings based off the river, and that is a big old 14.
What are you rolling for?
Just basically to try to get a bearing space on where I'm at the river.
You are 3 weeks on foot north of where the Cairn Ward was.
Okay, so we're sort of in between everything.
Yeah, you're like balls deep in what the Nemercians call the Bandit Lands. It's contested territory. The place is riddled with troll men.
Wonderful.
I wonder how trollmen taste. I mean,
they
we're have to find out probably.
Probably pretty good to you because they smell sort of like what you have in that wineskin. I guess we'll just have to try to survive off the land for a while and make what little rations we have left, stretch.
The sledge that you are pulling is actually quite light at this point.
Are we anywhere? Are we anywhere near where we had the battle with the Atlanteans at all?
God, no.
No, we're not. Okay, darn it.
Chains north of there.
Darn it! Because I was thinking to myself, that was close. I know where there's some barley.
You're basically in the middle of BFE.
Middle of nowhere. All right. Well,
but I will tell you here the view of the loping green tall grass plains is beautiful.
I mean, we'll have a nice view in our mind as we die from starvation.
Right.
Well, there is one thing we could possibly try to do.
I'm not drinking your piss, Shihan.
No, not that.
There's a river down there.
There's a river there.
I'm sorry, I'm
It's
not
the
there.
gray. It's the gray river. So I'll go down to the edge of the river and actually walk out into it to about waist deep.
Shit.
Yeah, and put my hands down into the water so that the one bracelet I wear is under the water. And I don't know how you would do this. I guess it'd be a sight roll. I guess try to call out the Fisher King, or the Pike King. I mean.
Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah. So, make a sight test for me, please.
Big old 6.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Really?
Yeah, I have very low sight. So.
Oh, Jesus! All right.
I mean, Blockfear could try, but I don't think he'll do any better. I don't.
You guys are doing so great this session. They just went to shit.
That's okay. This is how these things go.
Oh, die. They're fickle mistress.
Okay. Give me a second here. You got a 6, right?
Yep, 6.
How many? Just like how many trips have you made back, tribute wise, just to date?
3, I think.
Oh, 3. Okay. All right. So,
yeah, I think 3.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. A 6 will do it. The water actually feels about like 8 to 10 degrees warmer for a few moments, and the current slows around you, like an eddy forms around you, and it's not pushing you, trying to knock you over.
Right.
But you feel a presence. Where's Blogveer standing at this moment?
He's at the edge of the river. I mean, he's half watching and half cursing their horrible luck, and just wondering what part of Shihan he's going to eat first, and if he's going to cook it or not. So
yeah, you hear kind of a very graceful, not quite sing song, but a voice that sounds like water lilies, kind of like moving in a ripple on a pond, and the voice of a young man actually say, well, hello there. As
hello?
It's behind you, Shihan. It's up on the bank.
Okay, I turn around and look.
Instead of the young boy that you have paid tribute to some months ago, and the last time you had visited him, he was a teen, possibly 16, 17 years old if he was a human. But now you see a young man in his mid to late 20s. It clearly is the Pike Lord. He is still wearing the giant hair shirt that you had made for him. He is his outfit is kind of covered in moss. His hair, black as night, is tied back in a ponytail, and he wears kind of a fey iron and gold diadem, kind of a crown, a tiara, we'll say, actually, on his brow. And in his left hand, he's holding a great big frog.
Mm-hmm. I bow to him, almost putting my nose to the water, and I say, "My lord."
He simply nods.
Did you receive the tributes from the battle a few chains ago? Myself and Blogveer put several Atlanteans over a bridge into the waters, which I felt I thought may have flowed into your river and might have delighted you as it flowed by.
I was able to gaze upon the bloody corpses of your sweet victory. Yes, I was quite pleased at such a thing, seeing the invaders dispatched. He smiles wide. This fairy king looks up at Blogveer. He smiles and nods. I believe this is the first time that we've met.
Just bow to him. I'm Bloodbeer.
I've heard much about you. Shihan speaks highly of you, and the bloodshed that you've wrought in the name of my court.
He rots quite well, actually.
Wrought indeed. But he actually takes a few moments as the sun kind of like beats down on him, and he kind of puts his right hand on him as he's holding a frog in his left hand, and kind of shades himself. And he goes, "Why, by all things, have you drawn me out into the sunlight?" He takes a step back into the shade of a tree.
Well, my lord, I must beg a favor of you.
You know the consequences for such a thing.
I do. But I can't allow my friend Blogveer to waste away here in the middle of bandit country with only me as a possible meal.
He shoots a look up at Blogveer. This guy is like 5'2". He's particularly short for a Fae.
Shihan has a big grin on his face as he's looking at Blogveer as he says that. But he said, "We do find ourselves, unfortunately, lost."
And he just kind of a dumbfounded look comes over the Pike Lord's face. And then without looking at you, he says, "Lost."
I hold my hands up and I say, "I know, it was a surprise to me as well." So,
you shame me. He finally looks over at you.
Blogger kind of chuckles to himself, seeing Shihan being like scalded.
Shihan goes down on one knee, still in the water. So it's probably up to about his shoulders. And he says, "I beg your forgiveness, my lord." And I do. It does gall my honor that I must ask this favor, but is there any way you could either provide sustenance for us or direct us to a nearby village or township that we might be able to find solace and rest even and direction?
He kind of looks over his shoulder, his left hand shoulder. He kind of looks over the right, just glances up at the sky for a few moments. He pauses. "I know a place. It's going to cost you, Shihan."
Of course, nothing is free, and as it should be. So, what price do you require of me, my lord?
You request a favor of me. My price will be, I will cash in a favor of mine that you will pay at a time of my choosing.
As you wish.
And he takes a few steps forward and he actually holds his hand out to you. He kind of like squishes the mud of the bank as this frog, he kind of just drops it in the water and the frog goes off into the river. And he holds his hand out to you to make the deal. And he kind of gives you this look like, "Are you sure?"
I pull out one of the knives, draw some blood from my hand, and I take his hand. Seal the deal. Yes.
Do you make a deal with the devil, Keith?
Yes,
Or
I did.
a devil, not the devil?
Yes. Well, he's my lord, so
Of course, of
you know,
course.
what's the worst you're gonna do? Imprison me as a slave for the rest of eternity? Yeah, I know.
It's not a bad gig. No, he takes your hand, he squeezes it, and he goes, I brag about you at the Festival of Misrule. I hope you know.
I hope to give you many more stories to brag.
And he fucking vanishes right
Okay.
before your eyes.
Okay.
And you feel a presence, kind of like I want to describe it as kind of like this really spooky, unholy kind of gravity that is pulling you in a direction, and it's pulling you upstream. You're going north,
Okay.
and you know that is just a day and a half exactly,
Mhm.
36 hours north of you. If you leave now, there will be a place there that will be safe. You don't know what it is, you don't know where or how, but that is how far away it is.
Well, Blogveer, it's a day and a half away. This way. And he takes himself out of the stream and starts walking that direction.
I hope you're right this time.
Oh, I'm right this time. I should say my lord is right.
Logger will just start pulling the very light sled and follow Shihan yet again and hopefully not get lost again.
You're unable actually to make a travel test, as this is technically a supernatural journey. You feel yourself pulled into kind of like a pseudo realm of the unseelie as you move through this. Um, we're in the season, late spring, as we move into autumn, and then there's a few hours segment, maybe like a few cycles. You don't know what time is in this journey, but winter falls, and then springtime again, and then it is summer and fall, winter, and then spring. As you guys get to this location, it is a grotto that is tucked away in kind of a shadowy pocket of the river, and you hear the sounds of water kind of like tumbling down a small waterfall, but the water doesn't feel quite right. It feels otherworldly, and it sounds like the ringing of bells.
Nice.
They're as you pass through into this grotto, you have clearly aged 2 cycles as you enter this place, and there is a long banquet table filled with food of the Fey realm, possibly anything that you could ever want, desire, or need. There are beds here, comfortable beds you could only find in the afterlife. Shihan now has 2 streaks sprouting from his sideburns. He now has silver sideburns. As he has long hair, he has 2 streaks.
Mhm. So I'll reach up to Blogveer, pat him on the shoulder, and I'll say, "Oh, we only take what we need from here. I know there's a banquet there which could fill us with a great feast, and we need to rest, so we can rest in the beds, but don't get too comfortable because there have been tales that those who come into these places get too comfortable and live their entire lives never leaving them again."
I'll take your word for it.
I'm actually going to need a spell defense test as you guys enter this place.
Okay. 12 for me.
Okay. And for Blogveer,
That's a 9.
oh It's a 9. Okay. So Shihan is able to keep his wits about him, and his words do indeed ring true. But Blogfear, you are famished, and you are taken by the enormity of this feast, and it is very hard for you. Excuse me, hard for you not to indulge every possible hunger that you have here.
Oh damn!
So,
Um, as we close this session here, I need soliloquies. Shihan may take the floor first as the stage come up.
Shihan goes through his mind as he looks at this place of the Fae that everything around it reminds him of being home, being among his own people, even though he knows this is, of the true Fae realm and not just of his fair folk. But the beds, the linen seems to be the same consistency as the ones from when he was a child. The sounds of the water, the smells of the food, everything just reminds him of home. And though he's kept a stern face about it, and when people talk about his home, he tends to get a dark look upon his face. That longing starts to flare in his chest to see it once again, and the fact that he can't go back until his horns have fully grown back in, just that pain begins to overwhelm him a bit. And that's sort of how he's able to keep away from this ensorcelment of the Fae. Looks over at Blogveer and sees him, probably eating copious amounts of food, and he shakes his head and thinks, this may be bad. And he thinks on his deal he just made with the Pike King, and he knows how those deals can end. That those deals can literally end in him being a tool for this being for the rest of all eternity. There have been plenty of stories of that, so he is worried, but at the same time, he doesn't really have time to be. Well, he's worries about having the time to be able to complete his quest now, because he's led them so far off the path. His shame, his longing for home and such, just has him somewhat in a gray mood, if you will. And he sits down upon one of the chairs, picks up one of the apples and looks, and it reminds him of that grove that he always ran around in as a child. And he hears the laughter of his cousin, and the call of his mother in the echoes of his mind. He bites into it and tastes the sweet, sweet flavor. He lets out a breath and just says, "Well, at least I'm comfortable for a bit."
Images of that sacred and forbidden grove waft into Shihan's subconscious there now too. Almost a longing for the grove himself, but Shihan knows that he is not near old enough. You just absent-mindedly run your knuckles along your jawline, as many fair folk men do, see if there is any stubble there. Thankfully, by all the gods, there is none. And now we go to Blogveer.
As Blogveer's willpower has failed him, and he is just gorging himself on this delicious food, some food he hasn't seen since he was in his village, and this comfort food that he hasn't seen in many cycles. He just gorges himself on it, and he thinks that, okay, Shihan, he's made up for his error and getting him lost, and this is good stuff. And Shihan's words just trail in the back of his mind. Don't get too comfortable. Just take what you need. And he tried, but the smell and the alluringness of this food was too much for him. He was so hungry. As he indulges, he just thinks back on the battles that they've done and the slaves they freed, one small victory against this war machine that is a cultist, and we're gonna have to do a war of attrition here. And Blogveer, he kind of loses a little faith. It's just like, okay, we kill one camp and they deal a big blow to us, and we barely tickle them. It seems like we're just fighting a losing battle. But hopefully, with these Arborian reinforcements, we can deal a significant blow to them. And as he's just eating and drinking, his thoughts inevitably go back to Kaya and how she is sitting there waiting for him to come rescue her, toiling away in this commander, this Lord Governor's, his private estate, doing all the chores for him, being treated as just something she's not. She deserves better, and how this mistake, this error in direction has led them further away from her. And he's very sad, even though he's feasting and he's actually happy, but his heart is aching. It's just taking him longer to get to her, and every day that they are away, every day they're not going towards her is another day she could outlive her usefulness to the governor, and she could slip up and she could offend him some way. Every day that they take and every hour that they're not there is another second she could be going off to the afterlife. And as he eats himself into basically a food coma, the last thought he has is of Kaya and how he misses her, but he can't help but feel that he's letting her down. He's over here and enjoying this delicious food, and she's probably sleeping or being beaten and sleeping in a shit pile or somewhere, being treated like cattle or something. And he feels shame that he feels like he's let her down. And that's the last thought as he fades off into the realm of Morpheus, as he collapses on this ultra comfortable bed, the best bed he's ever slept in, food in his beard and wine trickling down his mouth. He just thinks of the shame that he's let her down, and the normal happy thoughts that he has of her as he drifts off is just replaced by shame and sorrow as Morpheus takes him.
Beautifully narrated, my friend. Now, the closing images of tonight's show. The stage curtains close, albeit very briefly. A few moments later, they open again, and we see a vast stretch of the southern sea. Beautiful, endless waves. There's the sun in the sky. It is warm. There's a warm breeze on the sea wind. As the camera pans, we see a great red ship. An Atlantean greater warship. This thing has 3 decks, 4 masts, and then there is a ballista mounted on the top deck. There are 16 guns on this thing. This is quite literally the Red Baron's personal ship. That the Atlanteans refer to the ship as the Vermilion Radiance. We see an Atlantean standing on the foredeck as his pilot is seeing to the rudders and steering. Another sailor comes up the stairs and he says, "Sir, off the starboard bow there is a mortal ship. Looks like a trader warship that is being set upon by a handful of smaller ships. We assume that they're pirates. Should we keep on, or shall we prey upon all of them?" This Atlantean who wears a red tunic He stands out against his peers, as other Atlanteans wear light grays or sea blues or gray blues. He just turns his head, looks at the sailor. "We must to their aid, sailor." And the pilot says that, "But sir, they're mortals. Why would we aid them? They are the enemy." And this Atlantean in red holds up his hands to silence his pilot. He goes, "Well, as far as I'm aware, gentlemen, we have not been enlisted into this war. I have simply been requested my presence on the mainland to meet with the commanding governor of the colonies. We are neither friend nor foe to these mortals, and I have not been given such orders to prey upon them. We must to their aid." And he dismisses the sailor as he turns, and he roars the name, "Posca! Bring us around. I want you to drop us just south of their largest vessel. We'll see if we can pump some bolts into the side of those ships, shall we?" And the Posca, Posca is an Atlantean oracle who is particularly nasty amongst his fellow sailors, and he kind of gives this and rubs his hands together, and he goes, "All right, then." He cuts his hand, and he draws a rune into the floor of the ship, and he casts a spell. As the entire ship kind of shimmers and then disappears like a mirage in the desert, and we see this ship, this enormous ship, and its incredibly impressive crew and armament, like a star destroyer coming out of hyperspace. It just appears in the midst of these pirates as they turn this great warship, and these ballistas fire and sink these smaller pirate ships, leaving the trader warship, this Nemersian sailing ship, in well enough alone now, as the danger allegedly is now gone. There's a few moments where the Nemersian sailors just look on as this horrifying red giant just appears. And without a word, the Atlantean in red motions to these mortal sailors to continue on, as they are ghosted by this enormous red ship. These sailors are being escorted back to their controlled waters before this enormous red warship breaks off a good 10 nautical sea miles from the edge of this contested territory. The next scene we have 2 months later, this great red warship puts into this harbor that the Atlanteans had put up. The commander governor is there, his wife, his oracle, and then the last thing we see is the ogress Kea attending the governor's wife. And that is where we will close the session. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, to session 13 of The Reaper King. Good night, everybody.
Good night.